Far to the east of Mesopotamia and India, history unfolded in a familiar rhythm. This time, civilization began to stir along the Yellow River, flowing east from the towering Qingzhang Gaoyuan, today's plateau of Tibet, into the Yellow Sea. Farther south, the Yangtze River wound its own course to the eastern coast. Thousands of years ago, when the Sahara was green and the Thar Desert nourished by a river, the vast lands between China's two great rivers were a watery patchwork of swamps, lakes, and mud. The Shennong Peninsula, wedged between them, was almost an island. Hunters and gatherers roamed this marshy terrain, but the saturated ground offered little reason to settle. Then the climate shifted. The Sahara dried, the Nile floods diminished, the Thar River vanished, and Mesopotamia's braided waterways consolidated into the Tigris and Euphrates. In China, the once-soaked expanse between the rivers began to dry. By around 5000 BC, the region had become a wide, fertile plain fringed by forested highlands. Nomadic groups began to settle, planting rice in the moist earth along the rivers. Villages emerged, their inhabitants sharing building techniques, pottery styles, and perhaps a common language. Archaeologists now call this the Yangshao culture, one of China's earliest. Yet the Yangshao were not alone. Along the southeastern coast facing the East China Sea, the Dapenking culture took root. Farther south in the Yangtze Valley, the Qingliangang culture flourished. Beneath the great southern bend of the Yellow River, the Longshan culture appeared, eventually layering its settlements atop Yangshao sites, suggesting peaceful absorption rather than destruction. We know little about these people beyond their tools, pottery, and village layouts. Yangshao settlements ringed by ditches, Longshan villages fortified with earthen walls. Hints of ancestor worship appear in burial sites, as well as the custom of placing food with the dead, suggesting a belief in an afterlife. For the rest, we turn to legend. Like India's Mahabharata, China's earliest tales were recorded millennia after the events they describe, yet they preserve fragments of older traditions. They begin with Fuxi, the first legendary king who reigned, according to the grand historian Sima Qian, around 2850 BC. Fuxi created the 8 trigrams, patterns of broken and unbroken lines for divination, record-keeping and understanding the natural world. He found a connection between the patterns in nature and the human mind's impulse to impose order. Fuxi was followed by Shennong, the farmer king, who taught people to till the land, sow the 5 grains, and distinguish healing herbs from poisonous plants. Then came perhaps the greatest of all, Huangdi, the Yellow Emperor, traditionally dated to 2696–2598 BC. Huangdi's reign was legendary. He defeated his brother, the Flame King, and then faced Qi Yu, a fearsome warlord loyal to the Flame King. Qi Yu, said to have invented war and forged the first metal weapons, led an army through dense fog. Huangdi triumphed, using a magic compass chariot, anachronistic as compasses did not exist in China then. In truth, Huangdi likely ruled over scattered rural communities rather than cities, but his victories marked a turning point in early Chinese governance. After Huangdi came Yao, the first of the 3 sage kings. Unlike Sumer, where kingship was hereditary, Yao broke tradition. Finding his son unfit to rule, he appointed a wise commoner, Shun, as his successor. Shun, in turn, bypassed his own son in favor of Yu, famed for his wisdom and credited with founding China's first dynasty, the Jia. These stories convey a striking ideal. In China's earliest political vision, rulership was earned through virtue, not inherited by birthright. While other cultures lamented childless kings, the people of the Yellow River Valley celebrated rulers who placed moral worth above bloodline, a principle that shaped the very beginnings of Chinese civilization.